Good day and welcome back to another Warcraft video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how to gear up. You may have leveled an alt, or you may obviously be at that mid-season point of wondering how you can quickly gear up some of your alternative characters to prepare not only for next season, but also obviously to maybe try a couple tasks you want to do this season. Now let's begin with base sets. So there are two baseline sets that you can purchase currently in the game. The first is with undercoins. This one is 580 item level gear and takes quite a while to get, plus the undercoins you want to spend on other stuff. What I suggest is with your ult, unlock the Siren Isles, complete the initial quest line which you want to do for the 639 ring, and of course as well you'll want to obviously do to farm some of the currency. Then once you have around 1,800 of the currency, switch over to your ult and you'll be able to not only instantly skip the introductory quest line, which will give you the ring, but you can also transfer the 1,800 flame blessed iron to the character and they can purchase a full set of gear. Now, you don't need to purchase a full set of gear. You will be replacing some of these items with renown items if you have the ability to. So you can watch a little bit further on in the video where I talk about buying the renown items. But if you are a new player, like if you are someone who's just started, this is your best option. So like let's say for whatever reason you want to switch over to an alt quite early, go to the Siren Isles, begin the introductory quest line, get yourself some of the Flame Blessed Iron, transfer it to your ult. After that happens, you should have a pretty good set right off the bat, and you'll be able to have your character sitting at around 580, of course with the boost from the ring. So that's very, very good. Buying a full set is great. You don't have to if you have access to renown vendors. If you don't, if you're someone whose renown is quite low with other factions, then make sure you buy a full set. Buying a full set will cost you around 2,170 depending on your weapon, etc. But buying a partial set missing the 4 items you'll need from the renown vendors will cost you around 1,800 depending on which items your character has available from the renown vendors. Remember to obviously also apply the upgrade to your ring and to complete any ring upgrade quests you have outstanding, or to earn them from completing content on the island, as this will be also a nice quick upgrade for you. So once you've done that, once you've got your ring, once you've got your full starting set, you'll be ready to begin the next step, and this is to clear story mode. Now story mode can be found here. You'll speak to this little Webster who is at this point on the map near the entrance to the Ring of Deeps. The big thing is you can obviously find him there. If you can't, you can find him in Ashkahet. For some players he pops up there. He'll begin a quest line that I do have more details on, so I'll leave a link in the top right hand corner because I think it's more important, and that'll give you a big full in-depth run through of this. But go watch that video, or just follow the quest line. It's super simple, and once you've completed the quest line you will have an enchanted Harbinger Ruin crest, and this is great because this will let you create a 619 item potentially, obviously provided you have a little bit of gold, and yeah, it's pretty cool because you can create a craft order with this item, and that's great. Once you've completed story mode, while you're traveling back to Dornagal, go visit all of the renown vendors. This only applies if you have higher renown than 16 with all of the renown vendors. Once you go to them, take every single quest you can find for Kedge, Valor Stones, Crests, etc. Just pretty much every upgrade material. And also speak to them because they'll each have a 597 champion item available for you, and this is really, really good because not only are these already 13 item level upgrades on the items that you have, but barring the one from the factions in Ashkahet, the Weavers, you can buy all of them with renown crystals, which should be something, resonance crystals, which should be something you have quite an abundance of. It'll cost you around about 12,000 resonance crystals, and it will cost you around about 3,000 Kedge, but it's well worth it to do, as it's going to net you a trinket, which is the only one available from the Ashkahet, the Weavers. But depending on obviously what your class is, you can get shoulders, helmets, waist, etc. from the other vendors. And this is just something I advise because it's champion level gear, so it can be upgraded quite a decent chunk. It's definitely good starting level gear. Now, obviously, if you are doing this, then, and you have the ability to do this, you're going to want to do this before you start buying your set from Siren Isles, because you don't want to go and buy set pieces for the pieces that you're going to get from renown vendors. So yeah, around about renown 16 will be where you are able to purchase these items. And like I said, they're 597, but they're champion, they're level 1 champions, so they can be upgraded quite a bit. And they're going to be the items that you're going to choose to upgrade with your Harbinger crests later on if you don't manage to replace them or choose to replace them with anything else. So at this point, you'll have story mode completed, you'll have visited the renowned vendors, and you'll have your starting base Siren Isles equipment. What you need to do next is you're going to need to use your story crest, but now this will require you to have a Spark of Omen. The Spark of Omen is not difficult to get. If you're going to build a weapon, you're going to need to get 2 of them. It's not difficult to get 2 of them because the game's implemented catch-up mechanics. Before you do anything though, travel here, right by where you would take the crafting order. You'll find a quest called Omens Unified, and here this will give you a bonus spark for just getting 1. So it just helps to remove some of the time limit. Now you can get sparks from pretty much anything: world bosses, delves, raids, raid bosses, world quest, pinnacle chests, and things like that. But generally speaking, what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to do either your weekly world quests, or you're going to want to do the caches. So one thing you do want to check before you do any of this is obviously take your weekly chests for pinnacle caches and that, just for resources and everything. Also check for your weekly quest. You might find one that's for time walking dungeons or delves or for time walking raid, and this will give you a huge boost in your gear as well, because that will also give you another piece of champion level gear. Now obtaining the spark, like I said, Theatre Troop, Radiant Cache, the Ashkahet weekly area, the Awakening the Machine event, etc., etc. All of these are great ways to easily get your spark. They're pretty high chance for the spark to drop from each of them. I think it's guaranteed from the first, and then you can still get more from the others if you're looking to get the 4 fragments that you'll need. Remember, if you get 4 fragments to create a weapon, you're going to need to consider the fact that you are going to need 500 Valor Stones. So hopefully you've got the Renown Valor Stones. If you don't, then, or Flight Stones, or whichever it is, the upgrade stones. But if you don't, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to farm some. While you're doing all of this, a bonus will be just to check with the world bosses, beat the world boss, and hopefully they can drop you a 603 item. Once you have your spark, return, claim your spark, and then create a Spark of Omen. Once you have created the Spark of Omen, you then can head to the crafting area. You'll find this crafting order vendor, and then you can place a crafting order. If you only have 1 spark, you'll be able to place for a piece of armor. If you have 2, you can place for a weapon. Now, I highly suggest, if you are a player with a little bit of money and gold, and you're a player that is going to spend the time to get the sparks, and you want to do this properly, get a weapon. It is the best option because a weapon gives you a huge damage boost, main stat boost, and also it's unlikely to be replaced very easily from anything else that you do. The next thing you're going to want to do is obviously look at upgrading your gear. This is super duper crucial because upgrading your gear will give you some extra push on your item level, but also just in your overall stats. Now obviously you can't upgrade the item you've crafted, but you can upgrade the champion pieces you've picked up from the renowned vendor with the crests and the stones and everything that you've got from the renowned vendors, and this will help to push your item level a couple, 3 or 4. I highly suggest focusing rather on the items that give you good stats, or set items, so items you can convert into set pieces, which is the next step. So right next to the vendor that gave you the Spark of Omen, you are going to want to then look at converting set pieces, and here you can convert mainly the pieces that will create a set. So, for example, chest, helmet, pauldrons, pants, and then of course gloves and braces. Like these are going to be what you're going to want to do to craft and create your set pieces, and they're going to be very crucial. So making sure that you can pick up champion level set pieces is important. You will have 8 of these conversion tokens, so you don't have to panic. If you unlock better items, eventually raising your level, you'll be able to still convert those. But I highly suggest, if you have enough for your set bonus, that you do it, as it's going to help you a lot with any content you do. And champion pieces, as long as you upgrade them with crests, shouldn't be pieces that you have to just toss away. The last thing is, what do you do next? So now you should be sitting at around 600 item level. You've skipped basically the whole raid finder process of the game in about an hour and a half. My character here at this point was sitting at 597, and you can very easily get them up to 600 by doing a couple delves or two. Now, so that means doing the whole raid finder process is not necessary. Obviously, it's advised if you're really looking to flesh out some of the easier pieces, but generally raid finder is not something you want to do. What I suggest is starting with delves. You'll be at around 597, 598, maybe even 600 item level, and you should be able to do tier 8 delves without having a massive issue. Do a couple tier 8 delves to push your item level above 600, and then you're free to look into either normal raiding or Mythic Plus or anything like that. Of course, before doing Mythic Plus, please look up guides or try the dungeons on at least Mythic first to get yourself used to them. Or just wait for the next season, because you'll be ready to go. Okay? Take it easy. Bye.